It's Sunday night, time for some Big Brother. Not a ton happened this episode. I usually look forward most to these Sunday night episodes because they generally have so many more conversations and alliances and behind the scenes gameplay shots that we normally don't get. But really, tonight's episode was almost entirely about the safety suite and everything around the safety suite. I personally really want to see like what are the budding alliances, what are the relationships in the house, and outside of the blatantly obvious ones, we are not seeing those little conversations, and that's a little disappointing as a Big Brothers fan. Makes me almost want to go jump on the live feeds just so I can get into the game a little bit more. All right, we started off today with a little bit of a twist. For at least the start of the season, our outgoing have-nots will have to pick the next person to be a have-not for the upcoming week. So last week we had Memphis, Ian, Nicole A, and Kevin as our have-nots. And they went and Memphis chose David to be a have-not, Ian chose Nicole F, Nicole A chose Christmas, and Kevin chose Kesar. So David, Nicole F, Christmas, and Kesar will be our have-nots for the week. From this point on in the episode, everything revolved around the safety suite. I really did not like how Memphis handled everything this episode. He was really trying to bully people into using the safety suite, and it just didn't really work in his favor. He convinced two people in his alliance, Cody and Christmas, to use the safety suite, and then only managed to get 4 other players to go and swipe their passes. So that means that half the house will be playing in the safety suite next week, and Memphis's plan really just imploded on itself. And in all honesty, I feel like it would have been better for Cody and Christmas, who are in Memphis's alliance, to have just saved their passes this week. You know, the thought was, oh, we don't want to play our hand and make people think that we're all working together. And I'm saying to myself, like, we've seen Cody and Memphis together so often. How are people not going to assume that they're playing together in some way, shape, or form? You know, maybe I'm misreading that, and we're just getting more of those shots in proportion to what's actually happening in the show. But I don't really think that Cody playing in the safety suite was some grand deception. And even this backfires on Memphis because Christmas ends up being the person who wins safety suite. And then their alliance has not had a conversation about who they're targeting. Like Memphis is trying to play coy even with his alliance members. Like we saw him have that conversation with Christmas, and he was just like, yeah, there's still like 5 or 6 people that I'm thinking about nominating. And yeah, Christmas, if you trust her, tell her those people's names. Even better, tell her those names before she plays in the safety suite. Don't wait till afterwards, because Christmas goes and decides to use the safety on Ian. And Ian is one of the people that Memphis was thinking about targeting. So Christmas inadvertently sabotages Memphis because they just didn't have a conversation. This game is almost entirely about conversations. And Ian went and had a conversation with Christmas. Basically made a deal. Hey, would you think about using the safety suite safety on me? That was it. That was their conversation. That was enough for Christmas to decide, hey, this Ian guy's not that bad. I'm going to use my safety on him. So we move on from here. Memphis has his target pool diminished slightly. And with all of his hard-assing all episode long, he ends up going the easiest route he could have and selecting Nicole A and David as his 2 targets. This was one of those things where I was thinking, you know, if that was the plan all along, if Memphis was just going to say like, hey, I don't want to get that much blood on my hands this week. I'm going to go for the easy targets. Him playing that hard ass still leaves him this week with a bigger target on his back. You know, the way he acted to everybody, like, oh, I don't know, I think you should play in the safety suite. Oh, I don't know what's going on, you should definitely go in the safety suite. It was just over and over to everybody, even trying to manipulate his own alliance members into playing in the safety suite. It's, to me, is put a bigger target on Memphis's back than what needed to be. And two, weakened his alliance just because he wasn't communicating with his alliance. Like, in my mind, Christmas now has a tighter connection with Ian over Memphis, and she's supposed to be working with Memphis. So I'm already starting to see cracks in that alliance, and it's an alliance that has had all of the HOHs so far this season. So I don't totally know what's going on there, but to me, this was a huge misplay by Memphis, and something that could come and bite him in the ass as soon as next week. I really enjoyed David at the end of tonight's episode basically swearing vengeance on Memphis, and it's like, dude, this is like your first week in Big Brother. You're not swearing vengeance on anybody. You just try to survive like one competition, like win something. Just don't have one thing in your Big Brother career that you weren't terrible at before swearing vengeance on anyone. I still question David's choice to be on this show, with him being the first person out last year. Didn't even make it to a nomination ceremony. He was out before there were even nominations last year, and here he is on All Stars. It's a little bizarre to me, and he, like Memphis said, he has to prove that he deserves a spot at the adults table before really getting any respect in this game. All right, I think that wraps everything up for this Sunday night edition of Big Brother. We'll be back again on Wednesday for our veto, and of course next Thursday for our second eviction. I'm toying with jumping on the live feeds to get a little more information, but I will try to keep any information I get out of these videos, just so I don't end up spoiling anything for anybody. All right, that is it for now. Let me know who you're cheering for, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later.